Welcome back to Tea with Empress. Tonight we will be discussing self-love, and I'm joined here by my great friend and my beautiful co-host, Miss Shezil.
How y'all doing today?
So let's go ahead and jump into the topic. Tonight we will be continuing the conversation on self-love. So sit back and enjoy. So what is how early do you think that you can start your self-love journey? Like do you feel like a child can be on their self-love journey, or do you feel like you can only start your self-love journey when you've gotten to your adult years?
No, and I really would love to see this more. I believe that you can start your self love journey as early as the moment you start speaking and not even know it. If you can have your child and speak to them, get them repeat positive affirmations about themselves, like telling them that I'm a king, I'm a queen, I
Yes.
am beautiful, I am all that I am to be. I am more than a conqueror. Like anything, like get them to have these affirmations. They probably don't even know the power of the words that they're saying, but it's going to get into their psyche in some way, it's going to get into their spirit in some way. It's going to show in their actions, even in the infant, to speak words of positivity and affirmations over them. Like that energy sticks. So I will never say that it's ever too early, ever too late.
Yeah. I bought this book for my son. It is called The Magic of Me. It's the kid's spiritual guide to health and happiness. This book here allows for your child to not only tap into their spiritual side, but tapping into that self-love. I remember one passage that it talked about in here that my son did, and it was called Loving Your Body. I'm not even gonna get on that because that's a whole nother topic. But for him to read this and talk about loving your body, and then at the end, it asks you questions. I don't know if you guys can see that. Don't judge me. Right? But it says, what are 5 things that you can be thankful that your body does? Another one was saying that you're a masterpiece. And the work that they had the children doing was every morning, that child had to get up, go in front of a mirror, and say something positive about themselves. You don't think about this for kids. You think about these type of books and these type of works for adults. And I remember buying him this book. I love this book, you guys. If anybody is looking for a spiritual book for their child, I think this is it. There's a for kids, for parents. I'm not trying to market or sell you guys anything. I just absolutely love this book. I mean, it talks about your words are power. It says, welcome to the classroom called Earth. Right?
Sure.
So, it is food is medicine, water is medicine. This is this
it says for children, but that is for everyone. That's for adults. That's for anyone who is beginning this phase. Like, if you want to think of a child, like anyone that's literally in the beginning of this said phase, and like you're growing and maturing into this, like that's for everybody. That's beautiful. That is still like showing, like, hey, it's not just for adults, you guys.
Right.
Children need this as well.
Right.
And else you were saying, like with the food and nutrition, and how that's something I wish I would have brought up earlier, how important that is, and how that literally, the food and what you put into your body, what nourishes you. Excuse me. How
Speak
that
on
literally changes your brain chemistry.
And what you put into your body shows how much you love yourself or not. You putting all that crap in your body. Do you really love yourself? Do you really love yourself?
Like, let's really take that into account. Like, and it's not saying like, if you're not doing this, you're wrong, you're wrong.
Right.
No,
No,
take
no.
your time until it's right for you. Like, there are certain things that I know work for me, and I bring it to other people, and they look at me like I'm crazy. And we just gotta sit down and explore. Like, okay, now, like, well, let's talk about you. Like, let's, because
Yeah.
there's something that works. There is something. You just have to accept it. Like, you have to accept it and love it, and no, like, don't hide from it. Don't run from it. Like, you have to. I think a lot of people don't like to face themselves. Like, they're too afraid to, like, face, like we said, that shadow work. As if like you're fighting yourself in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, just
That internal battle.
yes, there we go. That internal battle, that fight with yourself, and being able to just kind of call the truth and just take that step back and be at peace.
And
Find that peace.
I'm sorry, baby.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I wish in our community, because we all know that this show is really talking about different topics in our community. And
Mm-hmm.
I really wish that in our community, more parents were exposing their children to self love. And I think it's hard in our community because most of our families and our households, I won't say most, a good bit of our
Mm-hmm.
families and households are separate. We
Mm-hmm.
have, the men, how the government does with our Black men, and our women, we have our independent mindset. So we're not instilling in our children this self-love. And then it's just a whole heap of craziness. And I see it a lot firsthand because I work with predominantly Black, I work in a predominantly Black school.
Uh-huh.
So I see in so many instances that our parents are not instilling self-love into their children. These children are going to grow up to have to take a hard look at themselves and start on their journey when they're adults versus tackling it now. And it's just hard because I want to just grab my babies and say, no, like, you are
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. You are awesome. I have this little pretty chocolate little girl. She's not in my class. So gorgeous. And like, her parents or her mother tells her that she's not beautiful because her mother has a younger child with a Caucasian man. And so they say, you was pretty like this little babe with the pretty little hair. But this little girl, one of the little chocolate students, she has gorgeous curly hair. When she be coming in with her little puff, I was like, yeah, she's so beautiful. And I just wish that parents in our community were instilling into our children self-love and loving who you are, loving your melanin, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Loving your
ma'am.
dark spots, loving your scars, loving your hair texture, no matter what texture it is, it's yours. you, you
If I
can't do nothing
say,
about it. It's yours. Whether you put a perm in it or not, when that perm grow out, your hair is coming out. So I wish that our parents are doing what they need to heal themselves and have self-love
yes,
for themselves so that they can instill it into their children. That's just something that I want to see for our community.
yeah, and you hit it when you said that the parents have to develop that self love, that self healing, and self
Mm-hmm.
knowledge of who they are to be able to pass that down. And it's still good that you're telling your children how beautiful they are, how wonderful they are, and how
Mm-hmm.
magnificent, like, the things that they can do in their lives and everything. Because even if it doesn't hit them that moment, like, we hope that down the line it comes back
Yeah.
around, and it's like, okay, she did say that, that's what she meant. And just have more people pour that love on them to the
Yeah.
point where they start believing it themselves. And unfortunately, we just live in a society where people have been conditioned to think that, like, the society has put that light skin straight hair is beautiful. And now, I mean, we're definitely in
Anything
a,
close to white is beautiful.
yeah, no. I mean, I appreciate the fact that we are moving in a path with a society where people are seemingly to start expressing themselves in more of a natural and less, I guess,
Oneness with themselves.
but yeah, people are starting to be more conscious and starting to
Mhm.
appreciate and embrace their natural roots a little bit more, and not even wearing as many weaves, maybe just growing their hair out, like whatever it is, they're proud of who they are and
Right.
what God created them to look and
Right.
be, like so it's a
It's a
whew,
journey. It's a journey
yeah.
for adults and for children. But to think about, to go back to a point that we talked about earlier when we was talking about self-love prior to relationships, and then at one of our episodes we talked about marriage potential.
Mhm.
Nobody really talks about, and we touched on it a little bit, but nobody really talks about how to maintain and strengthen that self-love when you are in a relationship. Because let's be honest, a lot of times we get in these relationships and we lose ourselves in that other person because we forget or we stop working on that
Mhm.
muscle. And so let's talk about how do we strengthen this muscle? How do we strengthen and maintain this muscle when we are in a relationship? Once we've gotten that marriage
Mhm.
proposal, we've been married to our spouse for 5, 10 years, heck, 3 years, 1 year, whatever. How do we keep that muscle going? How do we keep that muscle strong
Mhm.
and working at its peak performance?
Yeah. So two things that come to mind right now. For one, I hope and pray in any and all relationships, people are not trying to be attached at the hip, because you need that time apart. Like you still have to honor your time on both
Yeah.
ends. Like a woman needs to have her time to have her self-care day or whatever it is.
Mhm.
A man also deserves to have that time as well, because you have to do that work alone at times. Like you
Yeah.
cannot always have someone you co-depend on to have that work done. And also the second thing is still, you can still, I believe you still can do that work with someone else, as I was saying earlier, like have that accountability partner. Like if there's something that y'all both enjoy doing that really keeps y'all both grounded. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
random. Like you want to, if y'all love to go camping and you can enjoy being by the fire at night, or if y'all both enjoy going to the spa and like having like a couples little massage, little therapy treatment, or something that like that can ignite both of you at the same time, and also have time for self-reflections to do it together. Those
Yeah.
are things that came to my mind, and there's probably so much more. That's just what came to mind.
I think it's a lot of, like you said, maintaining that degree of space. I need to have time away from you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being able to continue to say what makes you happy, to continue to make yourself a priority, whether you're in a relationship or not.
Mm-hmm.
You need to still make yourself a priority, and you need to not judge yourself on every single thing. You have to forgive yourself. You have to
Mm-hmm.
love yourself. And don't get distracted by the things that are going on in your relationship. And I want to bring up a song that when you were talking about maintaining your space, that it just hit my head. I love Heather Headley. I don't know if too many people
Uh-huh.
remember her, but she had a song called Me Time. And
Uh-huh.
I want to read you, right? I was singing in my head. I want to read y'all the lyrics, just some of them. It says, and I'm going to skim through it. She's talking about, I always put you first. You know that I've been down for you through better or for worse. And then she skips on to say she's not trying to start anything, not trying to start any drama. She doesn't want to stop their relationship, but she says sometimes a girl just needs her space. And she says, no different than the man that she's with. And then here goes the hook. I need some me time, not some you and some I, just some me time. Not some him, not some her, just some free time. I want to run with my girls, hit the club, hit the mall, get my nails done, get my hair done, spa. You don't have to worry. There's nothing going on. I just need some me time. Yes. And this song, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I remember this song when I was a kid. I'm thinking like, oh, I need some, what the hell I was listening to. But now, all these years later, when you brought up that point, I haven't heard the song in years. But for you to just say like, we need that space, for it to just hit in my head, that speaks volumes, because again, I love me some Heather Headley. She spoke to this a lot. But to say like, when you're in a relationship, not being connected at the hip, he needs to have his own friends. You need to have your own friends. You need to be able to do stuff on your own. He need to be able to do stuff on his own. Because if you're always together, God forbid something happens, what are you gonna do? Your whole life is surrounded by that other person. That's male or female. So you have to continue to keep some portion of yourself separated from that relationship. It's not saying I'm gonna go cheat. I'm not gonna go do something that's gonna hurt our relationship. I'm actually going to do something that's gonna make us stronger.
Exactly. And that person has to respect.
You have to be on the same wavelength, that same frequency.
You can't abuse it now. Like, you cannot abuse that self-care and that self-love and that me time. Like, yeah, like it's it's a balance. You have to come back to reality. Don't abuse it. But the other person has to respect that you owe that to yourself to do that. Yeah. And it should be known that, all right, we're going to come back, and however I can support you coming out of this, let's move forward together. Yeah. You really have to, because if you're truly having this self-love journey, you should be able to communicate in a healthy way after that. That will show if this has actually been healing you, the way you react. Because if you're going through a self-love journey and then you begin to just fall apart, and the people who've been there for you are the last people you want to be around, and you you need to go back and reevaluate.
That communication is a big no, I'm saying that communication is a big thing. Being able to not only communicate what you want from others, because you have to be able to let other people know how you feel and what makes you happy and what ticks you off. But you have to be able to communicate with yourself and say, hey self, this didn't make me happy. We don't need to do that anymore. This energy set me off. We don't need to go there anymore. You have to be able to truthfully and honestly, no matter how much it hurts, communicate with yourself and with others. Talk so much tonight about self-love, what it is, what it looks like, how early it can start. But we haven't talked about what we can do to achieve it or to start our journey. And before we close out tonight, I do want to touch on that just a little bit. And I'll say some of the things that I do. Okay. For me, I love candles. Candles. And I've been getting hip to, I think they're called Bath and Body Works. I think that's what it is. Yeah. I always get them mixed up with Bed Bath and Beyond. So that's why I'm. So I'm getting hip to their candles now. If there is any, and I've said this on some of my other videos, if there is any Black-owned candle maker or whomever that can make me some fruity ass candles with a little bit of vanilla thrown in there, you got a customer for life. But something that I do is I love to sit in my candles with my instrumental music, jazz, whatever it is. You can type in meditation music in Spotify. And I just like to sit there in darkness, in nothing. Or early in the morning when I'm hearing the birds chirping. That's something that I do to just really practice not only grounding myself, but meditation,
Mm-hmm.
making sure my chakras open. And this is a side note, y'all. When it comes to self love and being in a relationship, and you start loving on yourself, the sex is better. Throw that out there.
That's a correlation, but go ahead.
I don't know if it has to do with my chakras or whatever, but when you start getting on that self love journey, it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think it's better because you're more so in tune with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just the act of, oh, I'm just going through the motions. I'm just doing this because I want to have sex. You have a love for yourself. And another thing that I like, you have a love for your body and how your body moves and things like that. But another thing that I do, and this is candid, but I stand in the mirror naked. And I do that because
that's real.
yeah, and it's crazy. I used to hate my body. Let's just be real. I used to hate my body, everything about it. And it didn't help that I was in a relationship where somebody cheated on me and made my self-esteem go even further down than what it was. But I started looking at myself and saying, well, damn, you really are you kind of nice and you look fit, but you cute, you know? And I've had a child, so my stomach doesn't look like the six-pack flat ass or whatever, but it's mine. And I know I'm sometimes doing what I need to be doing, but it doesn't bother me anymore. And I'm saying that within the last few months, it's not bothered me anymore. I can walk around naked and free and not feel ashamed of who I am and what I have, because again, I'm staring at myself in the mirror naked, just staring at myself, looking at every part of me,
loving every part
and
of
loving every part of me, and saying to myself, bitch, you gorgeous. Okay, and you don't have to be vulgar, you don't have to do whatever, but just tell yourself something positive while you're looking at yourself naked. Let's be honest, when you do get into a relationship, you want them to look at you naked, right? You can't look at you naked, and you can't, caress yourself. I'm not saying, do that. I'm saying just like hold yourself, caress yourself, massage your own back if you need to, rub your own feet if you need to, feel your body and feel what makes you calm, what makes you feel peaceful. I give myself a foot massage. I do a lot of things for myself, and it's also because I ain't got nobody else to do it. But I had to start doing that because being single, you're like, well, I still want a foot massage. But who gonna do it? The wind ain't gonna do it. So you have to do it yourself. And then you find what part of your foot you like to be rubbed so that somebody else can do that later down the line. You're finding stuff out about yourself that makes you feel good. And it's a beautiful thing. And I'm by no means at the top of my self-love journey. It's a work in progress because let's be honest, even on the positive journey and loving yourself journey, some days aren't always great. And some days you're just like, man, but being positive, man. You look in the mirror like, okay, I ate too many snacks. I eat snacks with my students. I ate too many snacks today. I'm not looking how I was looking yesterday. But you still have to be able to say, I'm still a great person. I'm still a great catch. And you have to really work on these things. I'll tell you this, I'm an affirmations girl. I have sticky notes in my bathroom. If you get a dry erase marker, you can write on your glass mirror. I have your goddess written on my glass, on my mirror. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm brushing my teeth, you're a goddess. Yeah. That's what whether I feel like it or not, you're a goddess. In my son's room, it says, you're a Black king. It just says that. So those are some of the things I do. What do you do that helps you with your self-love journey?
Well, yeah, for me, and this is something that I've been doing for years now, that for me, like, it proves to really help me get in touch with myself. But I love going on walks, especially if they're nature walks or anything. And I enjoy walking with others, but I really love when I have a walk like by myself.
Right.
And I be telling folks, I be having like the little Issa moments when she be talking back to herself, like it be going back and forth. Like I literally it really be those moments when I'm walking. It's like when I'm walking, I'm releasing so
Yeah.
much, and I'm able to have this conversation with myself and just be so real with myself. I'm like, oh gosh, is this really me? I'm like, this is
Right.
me. And I know, like, in a sense, it almost sounds like, what type of conversation you having? Like, but
You be having
it's,
a whole conversation with yourself.
I ain't about to lie to you. Like, I literally, and at times I overthink a lot of things, like way too much and way too far at times. And sometimes I have to go over different areas of my life and just be real with myself, like how we gotta love the good, bad, and the ugly.
Right.
Like I have to be real with myself with certain things. Like, okay, like you kind of fucked up with X, Y, and Z. Like you knew better. I still
Right.
love you, but what are we going to do?
Right.
Like moving forward, like you want this, you want that X, Y, and Z. Like, what is your plan? Like my like I literally like I have those moments, and even if I silence my mind and I'm still walking, just being able to just breathe in that fresh air, being able to, and where I walk mainly out here is this beautiful lake. It's about 3 miles. So like I'm walking. Like
Right. You getting a good exercise in.
by the time I'm done, I'd be like, okay, yeah, like let's go move on with this. But like I really do love to walk. I love to write, like just really get everything out, and I love to go back and look at it. And sometimes the things that I see that I'm telling, like what old self is telling new self now, I be like, dang, like yeah, let me keep going. Like I like you see those strides and you see that appreciation love you have for yourself then because you were trying to continue to elevate yourself. It makes you proud to go back and look at those memories. And then sometimes you have to treat yourself because you earn it, whatever it is. Like it's
Take
okay.
yourself to that restaurant.
You said what?
Take yourself to that restaurant. If you want to eat that place,
out.
right?
Like it doesn't matter.
Don't
Like,
wait on
don't
nobody else.
feel bad. Like with certain things, like you deserve so much. Treat yourself. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you find works for you, whether it be something you do continuously for years on, or it might be some spontaneous acts. Find it, love it, explore it, and just accept who you are.
Yes.
And be happy. Like you have to choose happiness.
Yes.
You choose these things.
Yes.
Choose to not love yourself, then you're gonna go with those
whatever somebody gives you, and you're just gonna accept it as okay.
I'm about to say, when you choose to not love yourself, you have to suffer the consequences of your mindset and your actions. But yet, when you choose to be happy and you move into that emotion and you feel it within yourself, then you get those positive reactions out of it. Look, I'm going to say this and I'm done. Your reality is a direct reflection of your mindset. Okay? So, whatever you have going on in here, that's how you're going to start seeing it and perceiving things in your reality. So it's the mindset.
It starts within. It starts within. It starts with how you speak about yourself, whether joking or not. It really starts within. I really want to thank you for sitting with me again tonight. And
yes, I have enjoyed this.
Yes, I hope you guys out there are enjoying this and enjoying our topics. If there is anything that you want us to talk about, you want us to touch on, go to our Facebook group, Tea with Empress. It is a Facebook group. Go to it, post it in there, send us a message. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know what you think about our videos. And we will be having soon some people joining us. So be on the lookout for all the great episodes that we have coming up. We are now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Hey.
We are moving up in the world. But tonight's episode is really near and dear to me because I want every Black male, female, every person who has an inch of melanin in their body
Mm-hmm.
to have the highest self-love regard that they can in this universe for themselves, because we are all awesome, we are all amazing, and I just want for each and every one of us to understand that and feel that for ourselves, and never let anybody walk all over us, never let anybody take us for granted, never let anybody not love us the way that we deserve to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank you guys for watching tonight, and we will see you guys
Next time.
next Monday. Bye, everybody.
All right, peace.